Everybody wants the big bag, but don't even know how to flip $500 without blowing it. Let me show you what I would do if I only had $500 today and, wanted to run it up from there. No fluff, no Lambos in the video and all that. We're just going to get into the execution of it all. Reality check. You will not turn $500 into 50K in 30 days. And if you try, you're going to blow it by next Friday. It's simple. It's like you're gonna have to over leverage to do that, and like you can watch some of the most successful guys out there do the little flip challenges, and it take them like 5, 6, 7, 8 tries to get it right, because they got the extra capital to do it and you don't, right? So what we're not trying to do is blow your account, and the only way to be doing that account flipping is really you start over leveraging, which is on the gambling side of things, and it's kind of there's no reason to do that because all you have is $500, right? So we're not gonna blow it. You got to pick specific assets, and those specific assets usually come with a specific lot sizing that's recommended for them. So a lot of times y'all choose the wrong assets. So with a $500 account, don't go trade US30, because if it moves 100 pips, now you're down $100, and that's like 20% of the account. So why do that? So if you have $500, you should be looking at things like Euro USD, GP JPY, USD JPY, and maybe a little bit of gold. But I'd only recommend trading like 0.01 lots with tight stops, like super duper sniper setups. But honestly, it's just not super recommended trading gold with just $500. For the most part, stick to the Forex pairs. Keep it low, and don't start off with super high leverage. If you have $500, you should be trading with about 1 to 100 leverage, maybe 1 to 200, and then once you scale it up from there, maybe you can move it over to 1 to 300, maybe higher if you're using a unregulated broker. Now, for the most part, we're going to be using the context as if we're using a regulated U.S. broker. So at the very most, it's like 1 to 100 leverage. We'll be kind of talking about for the basis of this video here. But how I would move, first you got to pick the right broker. All right, you need some low spreads. You need some decent leverage. Like I said, you want to start off around 1 to 100. You don't want to go super high. You don't want to go super low. You want to make good money out of the markets. Me personally, I like to stick in that 1 to 100 area. If I'm using one of my unregulated brokers, then I will dip into that 1 to 300 area. But I usually don't go higher than 1 to 300 myself personally. I found my sweet spot there, so that's what I'd recommend as far as the highest. And then the super sweet spot for starting off is going to be about 1 to 100, but definitely try some things here and there, see exactly where you're most comfortable at. But for the most part, you're going to want to really just focus on 1 to 2 pairs. I know I mentioned a couple, but you're going to want to pick 1 to 2 pairs so you can really focus on those setups. You don't want to have 10 charts up looking at every single market there is to look at, because you're bringing in more noise, and more signals equals less accuracy. So having those 1 to 2 set pairs that you look at and watch is going to help you be a lot more precise in your trading, especially over a long period of time. Now, every trade you're going to be wanting to risk no more than 1%, around 0.5% to 1%. You want to kind of scale it up a little bit before you move on to that risking 2 to 3%, because if you're watching this video, your win rate might not be that high, but if you're risking well, right, if your risk management is well, your win rate doesn't have to be that high in this space. We literally have a skill that you can be technically mediocre at and still be profitable, because if your win rate is 44%, I guess I'm pretty sure it's technically mediocre, but you can still be profitable as long as you're not risking more than this 0.5%, 1% when you're starting off. You'll be fine. Now, a lot of y'all like to pick a side with fundamentals or technicals. Some people are heavy on the fundamentals and they care less about how the technicals look, and some of y'all are super technical and don't look at no news. I encourage y'all to take advantage of both, because it's all the context involved. There's a lot of people that are only focused on one. So when you focus on both of them, you're getting a leg up on both sides. That's an edge right there. Trading technicals and fundamentals in tandem is a genuine edge, as long as you're tapped into the right information. You're not looking at super biased news sources and things like that. You're looking at things like Bloomberg, a couple of there's some YouTube channels out there with some really good breaking news data and things like that. Forex Factory, you know what I'm saying? The bird's eye view tool, that'll be in the link in the description. Things like that are unbiased, that just give you the raw data of what's going on to really help you be informed. And then you take it to the chart with that bias, and then the chart helps you figure out how to trade that. So make sure you guys are using both technicals and fundamentals in your trading. Don't just like ignore one because you don't feel like reading. But we did build a tool so you don't have to, you do a lot less reading, of course. That's again down in the description. That's free, by the way. You don't gotta pay to use that. We like Robin Hood with it. We take it for the rich and give it to the poor. The game plan for this $500, like I said, it's not gonna be 500 to 50K in 30 days. It's not what we're doing. Set yourself a plan. Set yourself a goal to reach about $1,000 in roughly 90 days. That is a 100% return in 90 days, which in any financial institution is damn good numbers. You understand? So you gotta using this, because the only difference in making a whole bunch of money later on down the line is you're gonna be moving a decimal place over. Technically, all right. That's all it is. You're gonna be changing lot size. You might change leverage. That's it. The setups aren't gonna change. The consistency is not gonna change. The risk management is not gonna change. All that's gonna just come later with scaling up. You understand? It's like a lot of traders get wrapped up in higher accounts, so they trade a little bit differently. They trade a little bit more risky because they're on a higher account. So I encourage y'all start off with a little $100-$500 account and get the consistency down, and then take that exact consistency to higher accounts. Don't change it. Don't up your risk. Don't start risking more. Risk the same amount. Now, granted, like I said, you can slightly bump that risk up to sometimes 3%, but I would never risk more than 3% at any given moment. The only reason I'd ever be risking 3% is if I'm in 3 different 1% trades. That's for the most part how that would ever really play out. So just a quick reminder from our last 2 videos, just to hit on the mindset a little bit. So this isn't a sprint, y'all. This is not a sprint. It's a skill that most people treat like it's a dice game. For the most part, 90% of traders are not profitable, and I think something like 70% of traders will give up. That's just the maths of it. So the fact that you're watching this video means you're probably on the side of the ones that's not going to give up, because, you know, we be dropping the best sauce that's going to keep you tapped in and informed and, you know what I'm saying, learning the skill the right way. But I'll say one more time. Actually, I'll say, I want to say a little differently than how I said it before. You got to treat it like a business. Me personally, I've always treated the space of trading like a business. When it comes to the risk management of it all, you have to be really structured early on, so then it becomes like second nature later on. Like it seems like that a lot of these, you know, high level traders like myself, other guys are, you know, real leisurely, kind of just like off the cuff with it. But that's because after a while of using your own strategy, following your own rules, it becomes like second nature. You know what I'm saying? So over time, that's gonna build up in you. It's gonna become easy. It's gonna seem less strict and stringent when you're actually doing it. But at starting off, you gotta write your trades down, journal your entries. Why did you take this trade? So you can, when it plays out, whether you win or lose, you can track that success, understand that success, so you can then replicate it over and over and over again. All right, you got to treat it like a same way that any other science is put together. this is nothing different. It's a skill set that you build up over some time. Now, granted, there are ways to fast track that learning to getting to profitability. When you lock in on one specific strategy, stay on it and get the mindset down. That's one way to fast track it. A lot of traders, and I'll say, like, I'm not against it, going through a few different strategies, figuring out exactly what works for you. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you can find something that you can lock on, a strategy that can fit with your schedule early on in your trading journey, it'll definitely benefit you, because then you can focus more on the mindset of it all. Because it doesn't take much time to learn a strategy. It's just a set of rules. You see it, you follow it, you set it up, and you execute it. The mindset is actually what takes traders the most time to get down in this space. So it's really a matter of understanding that early, and go ahead and getting yourself grounded, and getting your bearings up here, so that when you hop on the charts and you execute, it's just boom, 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 boom. If you lose, it's just like, it's not emotional. It's just like, oh, markets got manipulated, or something off the cuff that really ain't got nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, move on, pull up to the next trade. You know what I'm saying? If you got some value out of this video, drop a fire emoji in the comment section. I'd love that. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, and that bell icon. All that's going to tell the YouTube algorithm this is good content. It needs to get pushed forward, like pushed to the moon, and it supports the channel. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys have like specific things you wanna know, or understand, or specific questions you have for me, like, drop them in the comments. Let me know, and we'll touch on them in the next video, or we might end up doing like a whole video based on your question. Like, you never know. So it can't hurt to ask. I got a lot of time on my hands, because I'm my own boss now. You know what I'm saying? I trade, I run the company, and I do videos. So I got a whole lot of time on my hands to answer y'all questions. I say this in most of my videos, but y'all don't be dropping that many questions in the comments, and I know y'all curious because you watching the video. So definitely hit me with y'all questions. All right, I love y'all. Make sure you're kind to somebody today. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Hey, so if you want to support the channel, slide over to our merchandise store. We have new drops coming every single week. We got a whole bunch, got the summer coming up, so we had to hit you with the swimsuit over here, you know what I'm saying? We got the bags, we got hats, we got shirts. Go over there, find something you like. It supports the channel, helps us do more content, and all of that good stuff. So be sure to slide over there. There's going to be, again, new drops every single week, so make sure you check back every week to see if there's some new stuff that you like. I can't wait, because these slides right here are actually going to be coming. The drip LaFleur slides are coming out with LaFleur instead on the print, so that'll be nice, kind of meshing those two designs together. That's gonna be a cool little taste of summer while we have it all extra hot outside for you guys. So if you guys want to support the channel, go get your piece real quick. Prices aren't too crazy, but inflation is inflation. But I love y'all.